Throughout Australia, welcome to 3AW's Round 15 coverage of the 2018 AFL Premiership season.
Spilling ball with Brown for the Bombers. Hand pass to Heppel. Gets clear, steadies, goes for goal and puts it through.
Live from Etihad Stadium, it's Essendon versus Norf Melbourne.
Threw it onto the boot quickly. Brown. Four, juggles, takes it.
The McDonald's 3AW is football.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Etihad Stadium. Should be a cracker this afternoon between North Melbourne and Essendon. Matt Granlund, Tony Leonard, Matthew Richardson, Cameron Lee. And let's get downstairs to set the scene. For Master Builders, is your builder a master builder? As we get down to a ground level. Mick Warner.
G'day, Matty. Thanks for that. Yeah, and one of the reasons North Melbourne are still very much in the hunt for a top 8 spot has been Ben Jacobs, who they've had back after a couple of years out injured. But the concern for them is he's going to miss again today, a late out. The coach, Brad Scott, telling us there's still some lingering concussion issues. So that is a concern for North Melbourne. Zach Merritt, no doubt, breathing a sigh of relief. Paul Ahern comes into the side, the young gun from GWS, who had been dropped to the reserves. Crowd looking really good, may even hit 40,000, both teams in the hunt, as we said. Roof is closed, starting benches for the Dons, McGrath, Collier, who is back, D and Langford, and for North, Rovat, Clark, Ahern, as we said, he's into the team, and Tom Murphy.
Good stuff. Mick Warner down there on the boundary line. Before we get some final thoughts from Matty Richardson and Cameron Lee around the grounds for Europe Car. Nat Edwards.
Perfect start for St Kilda. They kicked the first goal to start the last quarter. They now lead by 27 points. Melbourne 11-73, trailing the Saints 15-10-100.
All right. Matty and Liggy, what sort of game are we going to get? Is it going to be an up and back? Can we get a bit of a shootout today under the roof at Etihad?
I'm not so sure. I think North is such a good team defensively, number one in the competition. We know that after 14, 15 weeks. So I think that'll continue today. I think it'll be hard for Essendon to score. They're not a good team at winning one-on-ones inside their forward 50, Essendon at the best of times. And this North Melbourne defence doesn't give that up with Tarrant and Thompson back there. So the challenge for the Bombers today, Lingy, I reckon, is to be able to run the ball through 50, kick some goals on the run, get it to ground level inside their forward 50 and pressure up. Because if they bomb it high, I don't like their chances with this North defence.
No, absolutely. And that kick-starts a lot of North Melbourne's game, as does the contested ball wins. That Ben Cunnington has been on fire this season. He's an absolute beast in there. Who from Essendon's going to be able to stand next to him and be strong in that contest? We know Dyson Heppel can do it at times, and Zach Merritt has an ability to find the footy, but a lot lighter body than some of those big North Melbourne midfielders. Dev Smith has had a good season, putting a lot of pressure on, and Jakey Stringer's going to start in this centre bounce.
Lingy, Sean Higgins in career best form, elite in so many areas. You can't just let him run around. What do you think Essendon do?
Got to put some time into him. Doesn't necessarily need to be a hard tag, but at least somebody who's going to have a defensive mindset up against Sean Higgins.
Something special about this. The atmosphere wonderful. 40,000 plus here. So much to play for the next 2 hours. 3AW is football, and we are underway with Essendon, who will be going to the northern end. We get a free kick early. It will go to North Melbourne, dropping the ball, and Zeeble will just wait for the ball to come back to him in the middle of the ground. They're going to the southern or platform 28 end. Zeeble doesn't muck about. Straight up the middle. Beyond centre half forward to full forward. Brown being held by one arm. 25 metres out. Hooker comes through. Brought to the ground. Ball underneath a stack of players here. I think the umpire will come in quickly and stop play. First quarter brought to you by the Chemist Warehouse. David Beckham is the fragrance on display. The home of the best priced fragrances with the best range. Roving the pack. Lovely stuff. Simkin off the back. Bouncing. And it just bounced right at the last minute. Richo, first score after a minute, falls North Melbourne's way.
Zeeble in the middle, set the tone, bombed it in. They can lock it in now, North.
Here's McKenna to bring it back into play. Kick to himself, then goes to Sard, who unleashes with a big long kick out. Bill Chambers couldn't take the mark. McDonald tipping Woody forced his way through and got the handball out. Devon Smith was able to collect. His handball went straight to McMillan though. And to Zeeble. Zeeble was able to get the handball out of the tackle. Right attacking it now. Also Bagley for Essendon. He dragged it in and the umpire will have it. Good fight there. Just forward of the wing, favouring the Bombers.
Important there by Mark Bagley. He was fighting against two North Melbourne players. Did the right thing. Just had to create a stoppage. Now his teammates can set up around this one. Well done.
Bill Chambers wins it down to Dyson Heppel. Sends a high ball to half forward. Just coming through that time was Magic Door just to knock it away. Then Wright will clear it. A nice neat pass to Anderson, who takes it half back.
Yeah, happy to go into the middle of the ground. All good. Zeebel's second touch. Make that Higgins for his first touch. Wants to go out wide. Scotty Thompson, jumper intact after 2 minutes, can go wider still. Dumont's got it on the city side wing about 80 metres around from goal. They have gone hard that time. Is it a little 50 metres after the push, boys, or not?
No, I don't think it was.
You don't need to have a think about it. Thank you. Thanks
No.
for your support as the ball goes in long. Brown at the back for the Kangaroos. Claws it, clunks it, grabs it, takes it. And he's got a shot 45 out, Lingy. Slide angle at the southern end.
Took it at his highest point again. He's so good at that, extending those arms.
And that's what Jared Waite talked about in the box before the game. He just comes up with the football at all times. And I'm not sure what happened with Hooker there, who's his matchup.
Yeah.
Got caught up in traffic, I think. There was no one near him.
So Brown will be back in the stadium about Tuesday. He is 45 out, the 31 pace run-up. Unerring as a rule, Brown. And sometimes rules are meant to be broken, and he missed left. North Melbourne 2 behinds for the Chemist Warehouse. Essendon is yet to score. Essendon to bring it in, all for the Chemist Warehouse. But it's not a good bring-in from Essendon. Chance for North Melbourne to hold up at attacking 50.
Hurley had to kick it in haste. Comes to Goldstein. Now to Anderson again, who just goes to the centering kick, and nicely done too to Zeebel, who takes the mark just beyond the 50. Heavily populated 50 it is too, so where he's going to go, he's going to have to bang it to the hot spot there, top of the goal square. Ben Brown will be his target. This time Hooker got a spoil in. Heppel was able to scramble the kick away. Well, Chambers underneath that, couldn't take it. Who's on the end of it? Here's Jakey Stringer going to work at half back, and he's claimed to by Higgins in a great tackle. And Higgins will take the free kick here for the Kangaroos and get on with business as well. He looks up. He sends it inside the 50. It's a wide ball. Ben Brown had 4 to beat that time as the ball hits the deck. Emerging with it, Cunnington to Zeebel. Zeebel, little short pass to the pocket. Simpkin with a lunge. He couldn't quite glove it, and it's over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw in right forward pocket, North Melbourne.
North Melbourne are all over them at the moment. They are set up perfectly, physical around the contest, using the ball well, and the Bombers just holding on here. They've got plenty of numbers back.
Yeah, tossed in. Bell Chambers at the back tap. Stringer's clearance partially smothered. Heppel had it, lost it. Stringer ditto. As Myers happy to run out of bounds between half forward and forward pocket right, or dockside, to the southern end, North Melbourne, who after 4.5 minutes, have Essendon actually had it forward of centre yet?
No.
No, didn't think so. So 4.5 minutes gone. North Melbourne 2 behinds. Bell Chambers the tap. He almost rose, knocks it away from Cunnington. Pack of players form. And again, we get another stoppage. This time, Matty, 40 metres out. Slide angle, well and truly inside attacking 50 for the Kangaroos.
By tosses it up in the air. Comes to Merritt, who couldn't get an effective handball away. Whoever's on the bottom of that pack is gone. It's a North Melbourne player. It's an Essendon ball.
He had no chance of getting it out, Sean Higgins. He didn't really pull that one in. He just sort of fell on top of it.
He did.
Yeah, harsh.
Merritt goes short to Goddard, who's going to change the angles up. He goes out wide. Ambrose couldn't take it in flight. Really got there though and collected well. And then he kicks it to the wing and smacked away that time by Scott Thompson from Brown. And we're going to have a throw in on the city side wing.
They are defending well, North.
Got it exactly how they want it at the Melbourne. At the moment, North Melbourne, Robbie Tarrant is the +1 back. They've freed him up. If a high ball comes from a clearance here, Tarrant marks it.
Neutral territory on the city side. The clearance that time, McGrath to Essendon going forward. Good quick release to Mitch Brown of Essendon. Floated to full forward. Vacant area. Goes across the face. Lands end on end. 25 metres out. Taken by Collier. Door comes through defensively. Dumont was good. Little wonder Williams. Tarrant's handball into space puts McMillan under pressure. He taps the ball to the boundary line. Scotty Thompson is there for North Melbourne. High handball met by Goldstein. Still in defensive 50. Back to Williams. Gang tackled. Brought to the ground. Play-on's the call. Now it runs out of bounds. There's certainly no free kick there.
No, well umpired.
Yeah, 6 gone first quarter. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. North Melbourne 2 behinds. Essendon yet to score. But, Matty, this is the best chance now for the Bombers going forward. When it's tossed in, ball will be about 30 around from the Essendon goal.
So when it comes, Goldstein trying to take it cleanly. Merritt got a little handball out. Is that Guelphy having a snap at goal? It's a goal. It's Fantasia, the man that got it onto the boot. So there's your first goal and it goes to Orazio Fantasia. And the Bombers are 1 straight 6. The Kangas are 2 points. We've gone nearly 7 minutes in the opening quarter.
Richo, how often do we see that?
Always.
North Melbourne have just absolutely dominated the time in the forward half of the ground. Inside 50s, they've just had it living in there. Essendon go down.
1 entry.
They pinch the goal.
And that's why in footy it's a momentum game these days. It's so hard to stop momentum. So if you have it, you just simply have to take advantage of it on the scoreboard. North didn't, Tone.
Round the grounds, let's go to you, Nat, up at the MCG. St Kilda, are you prepared to call it the Saints way yet?
No, not yet. It's 2 goals apiece in this final term, 11 minutes played. It's the Saints by 22 points.
So, well knocked out by Anderson to Higgins through traffic. Simpkins back to Higgins. He can go for a spearing pass. Just a little bit too wide that time of Rovat, and the ball goes out of bounds. At half forward, right about 45 metres around. So it's Essendon a goal, North Melbourne 2 behinds. Best of field today for Rain and Horn, your residential, commercial, business people to go through. All Matters Real Estate. There'll be a $500 prize, and then later on in the year a $5,000 prize to a lucky listener as Higgins takes the ball, goes almost to the boundary line. It was Ahern trying to have a fresh air shot. Still an attacking 50 for North Melbourne. Ball out of bounds now. And from there it gets thrown in at about 45 around. So it's a little bit scrabby to be fair though, Cameron, but the endeavour is excellent from both sides with Essendon by 4 points.
The endeavour is good. Richo posed the question, what would you do with Higgins? Well, I don't think they're doing anything with him. He's running around. He's still standing by himself right now.
Ball thrown back into play, taken by Merritt, dealt with by Anderson, picked up by Higgins, working in a phone box, had to get the handball away. Anderson couldn't get it cleanly away. Clark had a chance. Fresh area there. Who can emerge with it? Murphy. And now it's going to be McMillan. He's going to put it inside the 50 for the Kangaroos, and they got it covered.
Touched.
Touched?
Yep.
Ben Brown trying to wrap him up. And arms and legs everywhere here is going to come out. Will come out. It's going to be Mason Wood to snap. And he kicks the goal for the Kangaroos. Emerged from that congestion, and the Kangaroos have got their first goal. And they go to 1-2-8. The Bombers are 1 straight 6 after 9 minutes first quarter.
Just a class act, this guy. Wood, you'd like to see it a little bit more often. He can be a little bit spasmodic, but when he gets it in his hands inside 50, that was a beautiful finish around the body. And they needed that. They needed to get some reward for pretty much a dominant display early, but just haven't been able to get it on the scoreboard. Sean Higgins, we asked the question, Lingy, how many touches has he had? It feels like a lot.
Already had 7 disposals and running around wherever he wants, pretty much by himself. Uncontested possessions, the big difference early on. 19 to North Melbourne, only 8 to Essendon. So North is spreading really hard from congestion.
Those stats for Corrimal Windsor Caravans back in the middle of the ground. Rucking and roving Goldstein. Lovely handball to Cunnington, who can go long. He's going to be astray that time as coming through and knocking the ball away to the boundary line D. Didn't quite get there. North Melbourne pick it up and go into the forward pocket. Easy one for Hurley, though, to pick off from the Attlee kick. So back pocket, Essendon have the footy. Hurley can see a man 40 up the ground. Mitch Brown, the defender for Essendon, came in at it hard. Right there for North Melbourne. Ball at half-back. Essendon trying to get onto the footy. McDonald of North Melbourne came through. Lost it in a tackle. Trying to keep the ball alive. Attlee did it, but more or less turned it over. He's got to go back and get it again. Attlee, this time closer than we. Tackled and brought to the ground. And it's a high.
Oh, no. The umpire just here was going to pay that against Attlee for holding the ball because he thought he ducked, but the other umpire paid it too high.
McDonald puts it inside the 50. Mason Wood was on the lead and he took the mark. He's on a tight angle though. Go back and line up 49 metres out.
And I agreed with the umpire closest. I reckon Attlee ducked into that one. Yep, no way that is holding the ball. That is too high. That should have been holding the ball against Sean Attlee.
Not a good call at all, that one.
Yeah, the original decision was right, Lee. As we're watching Wood, who just kicked that great goal from the congestion before. He's going to pass it off. He's got a free man. Cunnington all by his lonesome, loose. Checking there by the Bombers defenders. He'll go back and line up from 40 metres.
Quickly round the grounds, Nat.
Yeah, the D's are still in it. Bailey Fritsch just kicking another goal. That's the Saints that lead by 16 points, 14 minutes played.
Essendon players just switched off completely then. You can't have that.
That's not a good sign though, is it? No concentration at all.
So Ben Cunnington moves in. He's directly in front and he puts through North Melbourne's second goal. So the Kangaroos at the 11.5-minute mark of the opening quarter, 2-2-14. The Bombers are 1 straight 6 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Let's go down to you, Mick Warner, ground level for the Master Builders.
So in that play you just called earlier, Travis Collier playing his first game for the Bombers this year. Hasn't played since the elimination final. They've missed his leg speed all year, and obviously the signs early is they're going to need it.
And Mick, it's extraordinary the build-up that from when we were up in the box in the last 20 minutes, how well and how massive this crowd's become at Etihad.
40,000 plus. It's a ripper.
Yep, there's a bit of restricted viewing seats, which is sort of counterproductive. Well, you'd buy a seat so you can't sort of see anything. But if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, the restricted ones up near where those big scoreboards and screens come out, back in the middle of the ground. Ahern had it, lost it. McGrath, Essendon came through, fell back to Ahern, who's the late replacement for Jacobs. Collier come through in the middle, strips it from Goldstein. Ball went to Fantasia. Handball out that time from Guelphy was good. Going wide, it's Adam Stard. Now, something exciting happens here. Attlee chased him, about the only one at North Melbourne that could hang on to him. And the kick going forward from Sard, forced to hurry it along because of the pressure brought to bear by Attlee, means the ball goes out of bounds. It's in Essendon's attacking half. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. We're at the 13-minute mark, first quarter. David Beckham is the fragrance on at the moment. It is North Melbourne 14, leading Essendon 6.
Ball thrown back into play. Fantasia got it off. There's a big kick from Myers from outside the 50. It's a ripper. It's a terrific finish. Myers has kicked the goal for the Bombers. And that was an absolute cracker. They get their second. 2 straight 12 Essendon, 2-2-14 North Melbourne.
Myers has got the ability. It's a little bit deceptive how long, when he really connects, he can kick the ball. That's a 60-65 yarder.
He's a player that you'd just love to see get a good run at it. He's been injured and obviously in and out of this team for a period of time, and that was a beautiful kick. He was outside 50 and that travelled over the fence. He knew that was a goal as soon as he made connection. Worked it out of the stoppage situation well. Nice goal. And they're the sort of goals I feel they have to kick today. I think they have to be running through 50, kicking goals on the run. I don't think they're going to be able to take a lot of marks against this tight North Melbourne defence. 14 minutes of high-action football befitting the importance of this game. Out of the middle, who can come away with it? North Melbourne, Cunnington. Goes wider to McMillan, half back to the wing. He goes on the dock side. Trying to get away from his man, did it neatly, Sean Higgins. Defensive handball is A-OK. And the kick from Dumont to half forward, close to the boundary line, should be picked up by the Essendon defence. Goddard can't get there. Little handball, North Melbourne come up with it, go back to the wing. Dumont got away a little easily that time. A series of handballs, North Melbourne, trying to free something up. Rovat pushed as he kicked it. No, there wasn't anything in it, but under pressure, it was a fabulous kick. And about 55 out, hard at the boundary line, half forward right. Zeebel's got the ball for North Melbourne. He'll put him deep into attack. They lead by 2 points.
So it goes to the forward pocket. D spills the beans there, and it's out of bounds, and we're going to go for a throw. Let's get downstairs. Mick Warner.
Just repeating that big news. Ben Jacobs, a late out with concussion. Paul Ahern took his place.
So we'll get you in a moment, Nat, as the game tightens up at the MCG.
So ball thrown back into play. Goldstein wins it down. Ground level, Myers able to craft the kick out of there. Langford is able to get the handball away to Merritt. Bagguley and now Sard, who loves to run and gun. He takes one bounce, hugs the boundary line. He kicks it to half forward. Oh, McKernan! What a jump! What a mark! Turns around with a head of speed and turns it over to right.
He was a bit excited, I think Sean was.
A bit of adrenaline was running through him there.
Yeah, he just got ahead of himself a little bit. Almost intercepted there by Sard, taken by McMillan, half back. Gets the quick handball away. There's been no whistle. The umpire lets play go on as Ahern ends up with Goldstein, and now to Cunnington, and now to Higgins. They're going with the flow here, North Melbourne. Higgins is going to put it inside the 50. Hooker, he can't quite take the mark cleanly. Ben Brown there with some pressure, still up for grabs. Who can take it? Emerging with it, Rovat snaps it, but back there, Langford takes the mark for the Bombers, the goalkeeper.
Hang on. Let's just go around the ground, Nat Edwards. Come in, Nat.
And it is the D's trailing by 9 points now. The Saints 16-11, 107 to Melbourne 15-8, 98.
Yeah, go quickly, Cam. It's a 3 to North.
Go somewhere near Sean Higgins for Essendon. He's dominating at the moment, running around by himself.
He hasn't been getting a kick, Lingy.
Right, of North Melbourne, back to full forward. Front of the pack, Rovat dodged a man, threw it onto the boot for a goal. A real little small man's mid-sized forward. Not quite a big-bodied midfield, but not quite a rover either. I think I covered all the bases there. Nathan Rovat.
Is he a utility?
No, because he doesn't go back.
All right,
3-2-20 North Melbourne. Essendon 2 straight goals. With a lovely little pancake parlour goal of the day.
Yeah,
Lovely.
On Sean Higgins, surely they watched that game last week and realised he is the out-and-out match winner on the ground here for North Melbourne, and he's already had 10 touches, 3 inside 50s. You'd have to put time into
I
it.
reckon you watch the last month. You don't have to watch the entire season.
The last month.
You know that Sean Higgins is the man you
just
got to
about the most informed player in the competition. He's loving this.
Well,
he was expecting some heat today and he's not getting it.
The Yarra Valley and Croydon Toyota replay, that Sean McKernan Mark Lee was a beauty.
It was.
Kangas by 8 points. Free kick in the middle. It's going to go to the Kangaroos. It's going to go to Ben Cunnington. He'll take it for North and he's going to blast it up inside the 50. Ben Brown. Oh, he's really launched himself at it. Couldn't take the mark. Rovat got a handball away to Higgins, and again he gets through space. No mark that time to Zeeble. He picks it up though and snaps it and goals it. Zeeble with a goal for North Melbourne. And again Higgins involved.
I swear I'll stop repeating myself soon.
Okay.
But this is, in the Essendon coaching box right now, they have got to realise they have planned poorly for Sean Higgins coming into this game. And they've got to throw out whatever they had and quickly make a decision and say, OK, we got that one wrong. What can we do about Sean Higgins?
And I'm sure that Myers has played some negative midfield roles before in the past. He would, to me, be the one. At the moment, just put Myers there for a little bit and gets control of the man who's moving into sort of Brownlow medal territory.
Back in the middle of the ground, 14-point margin North Melbourne's way. Sean Higgins early, leading best of field for Rain and Horn.
By a mile, Tone.
But leading by a mile, my apologies. Back in the middle of the ground, Goldstein tap. Who'd he get it to?
Higgins.
Who goes long to full forward. Brown in front, ball knocked away. Staying down this time, Rovat's won it again. Little one out to Wood, round the body, another goal to North Melbourne. So it is 5-2-32 North Melbourne over Essendon, 2 straight 12. And Mason Wood has his second or third of the afternoon. And it is a 20-point margin North Melbourne's way for the Chemist Warehouse.
Well, just too easy again, out of the middle of the ground. Get it into a contest, and geez, they look dangerous when it gets to ground level. They're not defending ground balls at all well at the moment inside their forward 50, at defensive 50, Essendon. And Higgins was the man out of the middle. And it's like a broken record here.
Well, let's go to Nat Edwards because you didn't call it early, Nat, but you've got a beauty on your hands now.
Yeah, Jesse Hogan's just kicked it behind for the Demons. There's about 4.5 minutes left, so the Saints lead by 14 points now.
It is actually 2 to Woods. Ball restarts, middle of the ground, free kick to the Bombers.
It is, and it's going to be Dyson Heppel, the skipper, to come up with the free kick for the Bombers. And he sends it long to deep inside 50. Oh, Magic Dog got back. He went for a big leap but couldn't take the mark. And then Stringer handcuffed in the tackle. Can't get it out. And the umpire will come in and ball it up 35 metres out for the Bombers' goal. So plenty of numbers around the footy again as the umpire tosses it up in the air. Dorr and Stringer were competing with that, and McKernan in there as well. Who can emerge with the footy? Mitch Brown almost shoved in the back that time, nothing doing, as they all collapse in on each other, and the umpire will have it again. It's still 30 metres out from Essendon's goal.
We've been repeating about Sean Higgins. To say what they are trying to do, I think it is Zach Merritt who's just playing a head-to-head role on Sean Higgins, but he's just tracking the ball, and Higgins is getting away from him every time.
McDonald, Tip and Woody trying to force it forward. They sort it out here, the Kangaroos. Emerging with it was Clark. They collaborate well. Marley Williams, next link in the chain. Goes back by hand, and then McDonald's kick was blanketed well. Good work, Mitch Brown. Comes to Devon Smith, who has a flyer at goal and misses. Way out to the right-hand side. It's out on the full North Melbourne ball.
So this is great stuff, end-to-end exciting, but North Melbourne clearly the better at the moment, 20-point lead. Richo, quick word before the ball comes back into play.
Yeah, well, this is not what I expected from the Bombers. I thought they would start a lot better last week. Contested possession, minus 12, and you just felt that they'd provide more after that comprehensive win in Perth the road.
The long kick in was marked by McKernan on the wing. Tarrant flew high off the pack that time. Oh, magnificent snap that time. Was that Fantasia again?
Yes,
I reckon it
was.
might have been for one of the best goals of the year. and a Pancake Parliament goal of the day.
Lovely.
Just rode the pack from the impossible angle, little lucky bounce. But I suspect it's going to be that sort of day today, Cam.
On
that is
the
a
Yarra
brilliant
Valley
start.
and Croydon Toyota replay, that is a true Crummers goal, flashing across the front of the pack, up against the boundary. Orazio, that is brilliant. That's where he gets his nickname, Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah.
Those sorts of goals.
Yes, that he does. I think there's a bit of razzle-dazzle taking place at the MCG. And Nat Edwards is going to tell us about an upset, I think.
Yeah, 3 minutes left in this game, but the Saints will win this one. They're currently, if my maths is right, 14 points up in the final term, and they'll get their third win for the season over the D's.
And you that fair celebration too by Fantasia as Merritt takes it out of the middle and gets the centre clearance. Mitch Brown has been tackled by Dorr. He's able to get the handball away to Myers, who kicks it to the pocket. There he is again.
Oh, he's paid it.
Fantasia has been paid the mark. He's deep in the left forward pocket. He was running at full tilt, and the umpire said he had enough of it.
Well, he'll run around here, Orazio. That's a given. And they're pretty good. This is a little bit further out, though, so a little bit more difficult with the turn on the ball, but still within range.
Well, the celebration was pretty special by Fantasia. The last goal he kicked, it was a...
This will be big, Matty.
Absolute cracker. He opens up the angle. Fantasia's got another one. Have a look at him. And have a look at the Bombers fans on their feet. He's got 3 goals. Orazio Fantasia, and the Bombers going to 4 straight 24. North Melbourne a 5-2-32 at the 23-minute mark of the opening quarter.
We've got ourselves a good game of footy
We
here.
have.
This is a beauty.
They've had 7 entries, the Bombers, for 4 goals. So they're playing efficient football, which is keeping them in it, because North have been the better side, but when they've gone forward, they've made the most of their chances. Scoreboard looks okay for them, and when they fix up Sean Higgins at quarter time, they're right in it now, the Bombers.
And even that kick to Fantasia was clever, though. Didn't go long and bomb to those taller North Melbourne defenders, prepared to hit up on the lead.
Not one of their goals has come from bombing in. It's been that working around those talls.
3 goals to Fantasia, 2 to Mason Wood. High-scoring first quarter. North Melbourne leads. Out of the middle from the restart. Essendon win it. McGrath receives the ball from Myers. Runs to half-back, wants to go around the body to the City side wing. Picked up by Bell Chambers. Drew a man. The high handball. Myers has to run to try and get it close to the boundary line. Goldstein trying to knock the ball in. Ball freed out into the Merritt direction. Somehow threw it, I thought, to Devon Smith, who broke a tackle. And then his kick was beautifully smothered. I think it was McMillan at the last moment. Feel free to confirm or deny, boys, that it was McMillan.
It was McMillan.
Thank you very much. 32 North Melbourne, 24 Essendon. All for the Chemist Warehouse. And that is the David Beckham fragrance we're going with today, Matty. Ball on the wing on the City side.
Ball back into play. They couldn't take it cleanly. Merritt was able to get a handball out there to McGrath. And then Myers and McGrath again. They're working in tight spaces. Heppel able to round it up back to McGrath, who just hurries it onto the boot. McMillan, he's been tackled. Gets it to Cunnington. To Anderson, to Rovat. All in tight space at the moment. No one can really break free. There's been a free kick paid. And it's going to go the way of North Melbourne, way off the ball to Rovat, who was held. So he'll take the free kick just on the defensive side of the City wing. He brings it inboard, and the mark has been taken by Luke McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald long to about attacking 50, half forward. Wood at the front, at the back. Hooker, though, came through with purpose and takes the grab.
That's what I like about him as a defender. He can defend, but he can also intercept mark. Terrific.
Hooker to the middle of the ground. Bell Chambers starting to get some run now, the Bombers. Squares the ball to the dockside wing. Hurley up to take it. 35-metre pass is a beauty. Essendon with the football. Bagley between wing and half forward to the northern or former Melbourne Remand Centre end of the ground. He can go short and wide. A little bit of tempo. Stringer involved. Half forward, 60 metres out. Able to run an arc. Try and spear it. But, McDonald, Tip and Woody. How he got the space is one thing, but credit to the pass of Stringer, who Richo just pulled enough off the ball, caught the North defence out, and McDonald, Tip and Woody has a shot from 25 metres.
He sort of played on quickly, Stringer, and made his decision on the run, as we say, and that's what created that for Tip and Woody.
You say it all the time. If you mark it there, play on.
Just go.
Make a decision on the run.
It drew McDonald, Tip and Woody into it. He's missed.
And it is one behind. 4-1-25 Essendon trailing North Melbourne 5-2-32. still with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Nat, Melbourne showing a bit of fight late in the game.
They are. 30 seconds to go in this game. We currently have a score review with Jordan Lewis having a shot at goal. It looks straight. It's just whether it was touched behind the line. If he kicks this and it's a goal, which it is, the Demons now trail by just 2 points, 30 seconds left on the clock.
All right, Nat, we'll keep in touch with you as the ball is out here at Etihad Stadium. We're going to have a throw-in 45 metres around from the Bombers' goal. So it's going to be Goldstein. I think it's the nominated ruckman here to do the ruck work, and he's up against McKernan. As the boundary umpire will hurl it back into play. McKernan trying to edge his way to the front. He won't be able to, though. Goldstein just puts it straight down the throat of Cunnington. Have to really rush the kick. Ricochets down to Devon Smith, who gets it to McKenna. His kick was blanketed. And that one deflected away to Myers, who goes for another goal, and he's got it! It's cleared the line. It's a great finish. And David Myers has got his second. The Bombers go to 5-1-31 within a point of the Kangas, 5-2-32 at the 27-minute mark of the opening quarter.
Great kick by David Myers, but Jed Anderson chose to bump on Dev Smith instead of tackle. Smith was able to get the handball away, got it to Myers, and a fantastic kick. And, wow, talk about entertaining footy. Loving this here at Etihad Stadium, and there's good footy everywhere today and all round so far.
Yeah, Nat Edwards will go up to you as St Kilda home.
Yeah, they are now. Too little too late from the Demons. The Saints will win this one by 2 points and notch up their third win of the season. There is the siren at the G.
All right, so a big upset at the MCG to win to St Kilda. It's a point the margin here at Etihad Stadium. Who can emerge to the middle? It's going to be Goddard and Quelfie collaborating. Handball to Sard. Here he goes again. He takes a bounce. Handballs at the Heppel. Heppel to Goddard. Goddard couldn't take it cleanly. He's under the pump now. Might work out, though, for the Bombers. Was there a hold there?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, Matt. Well spotted.
Just started winning some footy, the Bombers. They're up in the clearances. We mentioned contested. That's nearly back even.
It's going to go long. It's a long kick. And Bell Chambers is there on the line. It was opposed to Goldstein. It was at 6s and 7s that came in quick. And the big fella, Big Bell Chambers, takes it point blank range, moves in for the Bombers, and they're in front. Bell Chambers with the goal. And late in the piece in the opening quarter, the Bombers go to 6-1-37, North Melbourne 5-2-32.
Okay, it is now Essendon by 5 points for Corrimal, Windsor Caravans. What is the stat sheet telling us how Essendon have been able to pull in not only a 20-point lead, but bang 4 on the bounce?
On our rocket stats here, Tone, last 10 minutes, Essendon +8 in contested possession. So as Richo said, winning the ball first of all, and then they're starting to get some confidence spreading away from that situation. And David Myers is just lighting it up. We're pumping up Sean Higgins early. Well, Myers, 8 touches with the 2 goals. Orazio's got the 3 goals. Sean Higgins still the leading possession winner on the field with 13 disposals.
11 goals in the first quarter. There's that review going as Bell Chambers. It was a skew-if bounce.
Both teams kicked 100 points at the MCG.
Yeah. Don't know how people keep turning up 50,000 here today. Clearly nothing to do in Melbourne.
The positive police are winning.
Correct. We will win out, Richo. 37-32. Essendon lead. North Melbourne at the 30-minute mark from the restart. Take it from the middle of the ground, and McMillan can go long to half forward. Front of the pack this time it's Wood, who got it out quickly to Turner, to Cunnington, can loop a handball. I reckon another goal. Higgins had it, has to bring it round left boot. It's going to be a goal to North Melbourne anyway. And in the finish, it was easy pickings that time. And North Melbourne, I reckon that is Simpkin who's kicked the goal. And no, big part of Atlee's kicked the goal. So they regain the lead, 6-2-38, North Melbourne. By a point over Essendon, 6-1-37, all for the Chemist Warehouse.
Richo, am I seeing things there? I just thought Essendon had changed and adjusted the way that they were playing. And then Sean Higgins, that man again, was standing by himself about 30 metres out from goal.
And I mean, no one within 25 metres of him. He's a pop-up sprinkler, maybe.
Maybe it's something that he's doing.
He just came out of the ground. He went underground and just came up inside the 50.
Yeah, how's Cunnington going, boys?
11 touches for Ben Cunnington.
Oh, nice to mention.
And
Thank you.
5 contested possessions. Haven't you been calling him much, Tone?
I've been calling enough. Just you blokes have got this love affair with Sean Higgins. Ball bounced middle of the ground late in the first quarter. North Melbourne by a point.
Yep, and Langford was able to wriggle his way out of the tackle and kick it inside the 50. And who can take it? Myers again. He gets it away to McKernan. Little chip pass. Bagley, he's been wrapped up in the tackle. Giving the round to the kitchen there, and the umpire will come in now and ball it up 40 metres out from goal for the Bombers.
Vic Warner on the boundary line for the Master Builders.
The other big duel guys is in the ruck. Goldstein leading the hit-outs 14-8. Bell Chambers, but Bell Chambers kicked that goal and getting a bit around the ground.
So Goldstein was able to win that down to McDonald. McDonald just blasting it out of there. A real blind kick. He made a hunt it down as Bell Chambers. Ben Brown is pursuing him. Back by hand to Hooker, who's got a little bit of time to handball it to Ambrose. To Bell Chambers by hand. And now to Merritt. They're going backwards now, the Bombers. To Hurley. To Hooker. He's in all sorts. He's gone.
It's out on the full off Ben Brown.
Quality defence.
So Atley takes the free. He kicks it top of the goal square for the Kangaroos. Collier was there with a spoil. Ahern might get a look at it here. He gives the handball away to Dumont. Dumont now to Cunnington off a step. And he kicks one late in the quarter for North Melbourne. Extends the Kangaroos' lead as they go to 7-2-44. The Bombers 6-1-37.
Cunnington's going okay, Tone.
Yeah, I thought he might have.
Have a look at that. The umpire has mucked that right up.
Take us through it on the Yarra Valley and Croydon Toyota replay.
Before that happened on the boundary line, the great pressure, it was out on the full off the boot of Ben Brown. The boundary umpire paid out on the full. The North Melbourne player picked it up and kicked it inside 50, and they just let it go.
I think the field umpire may have paid holding the ball,
righto.
which
Cool.
may have overridden the boundary umpire.
That makes sense then.
13 goals, a 33-minute quarter. I'm tipping the paying public don't want the games down to 18 minutes. And we've still got a minute 13 to go of this fabulous stuff, this great entertainment from both teams. Goldstein, the tap, Cunnington works hard. Under pressure, had it, lost it, barging through that time Ahern. He had it, lost it, almost got it back. Heppel in there, very hard and tough. Still in the middle of the ground. Well done, McGrath, able to leave it out to Smith. To Goddard on the run, on the wing. A little dribbler toward half forward. Picked up neatly that time, McKernan. Great handball, Fantasia. He wants to straighten himself up. Hurried the kick in the finish. Ball knocked down. Need an Essendon runner. Got one. Bagley. Handball over the top, out of bounds. But at least we'd show Essendon, with 41 seconds remain, they trail by 7 points, have got it at the right end of the ground.
Yeah, they're going to have a chance to score. You wouldn't think North Melbourne can. So can they get something around the stoppage here? Jake Stringer, I like him in these situations.
Yeah.
Seen him kick goals from this.
Nearly at quarter time here. Earlier today, St Kilda defeated Melbourne by 2 points.
Ball thrown back into play. Who can emerge with it? Wood was able to just get it onto the boot quickly. It's back out to the wing. The Bombers have got it covered though. Hawker gets back and rounds up the footy. Handball to Goddard as we're down to 28. Goddard goes backwards, was dealt with after he kicked, and it'll be a free kick coming back to Goddard, will it? Yep, he'll take it just on the attacking side of the wing.
Already the highest score for a first quarter this year.
They want to get on with it. To Sard, and Sard takes the game on again. He's outside the 50. He puts it top of the goal square. Stringer goes with a one hand. Thompson is back there. McMillan running the last line of defence. He's able to clear it. He goes out very wide. Turner is out there with Langford. Langford suited by the bounce. He takes it hard up against the boundary line and gets it to Guelphy, who'll have a kick after the siren on a very tight angle. So it is going to be Matt Guelphy. What do you know of this boy's work from a goal kicking point of view, gentlemen?
Oh, he's got the skills, no worries at all. But from this position, it would be a magnificent goal. But the way this quarter's gone, why not?
Oh, we've had a cracking game so far. Guelphy hard up against the boundary line, goes for it, and it's sailing across the face. In fact, goes through for a minor score. And the Bombers go to 6-2-38 at quarter time, and the Kangaroos are 7-2-44.
What a first quarter, all brought to you by the Chemist Warehouse. David Beckham inspired respect, available along with a great raft of fragrances at the right price. Biggest range, best prices at the Chemist Warehouse. 7-2-44 North Melbourne, Essendon 6-2-38. There was an absolute belter played at the MCG before. St Kilda with the big upset, 119-117. Get another 3 quarters of this. This is an afternoon to remember, all thanks to McDonald's. The McOz lunch deal is just available for $5 at Macca's right across Australia. You are listening to 3AW Football.
This is the 2018 Toyota AFL Premiership season. This quarter brought to you by Chemist Warehouse, the home of real brands and real savings.